What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about GCT today. Think there's going to be a little bit of interest, probably even rolling into Monday, so I wanted to talk about it. Maybe I see a lot of comparisons with HKD and GCT, so let's look at that as well. They're in the same sector, so I can see why people are comparing them. There's a lot of interest around these Hong Kong IPOs. We've seen a couple of them run, and a lot of people thought that GCT would do similar, and it looks like it is. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, hit the like button. We'll get into the information. As always, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's just for entertainment purposes only, so let's be entertained. All right, so what I want to look at really is some of the similarities, because I'm not an IPO guy. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I saw it run, two instances before, and I'm like, hey, I like the odds, so I did get into the IPO before, and then I added to my position around 15, 16 bucks. So right now what I'm looking at is this major run. I mean, you guys have had a killer run, 200, 250% even at one point, so awesome move, right? But if we want to compare that to HKD, kind of similar starting points. GCT had a little bit of issues, I think, on some brokerages allowing trading, so it got off to a little bit of a slow start. But after that, trading started to come back in the later portion of the day and through after hours pre-market, and then Friday we really saw that start to make its move. So it did do the run, but if we just compare, say, whenever GCT was available to trade on all platforms as to HKD made a very nice run as well. So this is just the initial run. We're not talking about the entire chart. They were both new at this point. That's why we're going with the comparisons at new. And what I really wanted to point out was kind of where they went to and what happened from there. So we're in this symmetrical triangle pattern right now, and so statistics say they're going to break to the direction, usually in the direction that they came into the pattern. So is it bullish? I mean, statistics say it is, but we have to consider the fact that it's just a new IPO and how much interest is going to be here and how well is it going to respect this pattern. As of right now, what I'm really looking at is the RSI is cooling off, and we don't necessarily want to see that. The selling pressure kind of picked up quite a bit there at the end of the day, as well as the RSI was coming down. And we saw something similar over here on HKD, where the RSI cooled off, the selling pressure really came in, and it took a pretty big hit. So that wasn't the end of HKD. I'm not saying that's the end of that one. I'm not saying that's what I am guaranteeing is going to happen over here, but we're just talking about it because people are comparing the two, and it does make sense to see what happens from there. So it's going to be hard to do a whole lot of TA on here as of right now, because we have very small fractions of what we can actually work with, but I think we do have a couple of levels that we can make some sense out of. So really what I want to see first, we're going to see how this pattern plays out, in my opinion, by market open. Either it's going to break to the upside and hopefully set a higher high, so we want to see it crack that $60 mark, or it will start to make its way down. And will it look like HKD? I don't know. But what I want to look at are some levels of support that we will have at least to kind of work with. So right now around 48 bucks, I would like to see that hold. $44, and then by this point down here at 40 bucks, we're going to be kind of working our way to the downside, I would say, because we've clearly chosen a direction from there. So if it's going to go up, I want to see it break and hold of 60, and coming down, it could come down quick. This came down quick, obviously, so it could happen. So levels from there, $34, $24, and then probably right around 18 bucks. The good news is if they survive that, it took a little bit of time, but obviously you all know where HKD went to. I can't make any guarantees. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to go to, but what I would say is have a trading plan of some sort in place, because as much as the channel is about making money, it's also about reducing your risks. So if you have a position being up 200, 250%, you can obviously sell off a very small portion of that position and play with the house's money, right? You can have it a totally risk-free play. You made your money. You could even take an extra 10, 20, 30%, whatever you want. and you could walk away happy, or you can, hold on to it all if you think it's going to the absolute moon and you want to capitalize on every last penny. I mean, it's all how you want to play it, but if you are holding every last portion that you want and you think it's going to the moon and it comes down here, you can't be sad if that's what happens and you didn't play with some sort of stop loss. Now, I'm not saying you got to play a tight stop loss unless that's what's with your trading plan. It can be all the way down here. I would say most of you would still be making money at 24 bucks, because if you were interested in this, you were in early and you probably got your position very early because you were like, this is what I want to do, and I want as many as I can before it starts to make its climb. So I think you should have a pretty good average. I would be very hesitant up here until you see which way this does break, because if people are comparing it to HKD and we want to look at HKD's chart, it could take some time, right? There was, how many days was that? 1, 2, 3. So 3 trading days, but obviously a way better entry if they would have just been patient instead of chasing it, waiting to see which way that breaks and holds. Now, I don't know, like I said, I can't guarantee you. It's an IPO. There is no promises in either direction, but you can make a wise decision now as to how you want to play it, as far as what you have and what you're willing to risk and what you want to make even. I mean, that's a good run. So keep an eye on it. We talked about the RSI kind of cooling off. We want to see, in the pre-market what that's going to do come Monday morning. Is it going to heat up enough? Is it going to break out of here? I would really like to see it break $52 before market open. I think we're probably going to almost ride this out to the very point. I would say, I don't know, but we're gonna just find out together and kind of go from there. But like I said, there is a significant downside, and that downside could come very quick, as you saw in HKD. So just play smart, play accordingly, and just go from there. But we'll touch back in on it as we see how things are progressing, how time plays out, if we get any interesting setups or any interesting patterns. There's so many halts going on to the up and to the down. It's just going to be highly predictable, but by the time you make your decision, it could be down here, or it could be off the charts to the upside. We just don't know. So that's why I'm saying have a trading plan. You have the weekend to think about your trading plan, what you want to put in place before market opens, before pre-market even opens up in the morning on Monday, so that everything's in place and you are good to go. So it's going to be an exciting ride, I think, one way or the other. Either direction, it's going to be fun, strap in, hold on, and let's see what happens. Thank you guys for coming back. You can always subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the updates. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.